Well, every now and then I get the pleasure of speaking to somebody more than one time, and that is the case for my next guest, Allie Vasquez. Thank you so much for joining us on Good Morning Frederick.
Hi.
You are the queen of Walkersville. I love it. You are have your fingers in all the pots of things happening, but specifically today, and this is a really interesting topic, the PTA. I was a part of the PTA when my kids were in elementary and middle school, and I even tried some sort of PTO in high school. That doesn't have as nearly as much fun, but you are in the throes of the PTA at Glade Elementary and Walkersville Middle.
Correct.
Well, thank you for doing that. Thank you for your service, really, because I do know that no matter the size of the school, these things seem to fall to a handful of parents. And I know it's sometimes a struggle. So tell me I know you like to be very involved in a lot of things. Why PTA for your kids?
Okay, so I am the president of the PTA at Glade Elementary. And how did I get that position? They said if we don't have a president, we won't have a PTA. And
That's how I got involved.
that's
That's
how a
how
lot
I
of
got
people get
involved.
involved. And thankfully, they also just seem to find the person who I'm also one of those people where if I don't like any, and I hadn't even participated barely at all. But if I see like whole, I'm like, oh, okay, I will completely rehaul this and do this the way that I want to do it.
Yeah.
Which, some people love, some people hate. But and then my oldest is now at the middle school, and so I took on a small role. I'm like the fundraising coordinator at the
Yeah.
middle school.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been interesting to me. So I'm not going to be one of those people who gets on here and is like, you need to volunteer, because
Right.
honestly, that's not what we need.
Right.
People don't sign up because they think, now it depends, it's different at every school, but people don't sign up because they think that then they get added to this list where if we need a chaperone, if we need a volunteer, I'm just going to call you up and be like, it's time.
You
We,
sign right.
your,
You're
your
getting
number is
called
up.
up to the big leagues now.
Exactly. And actually at the middle school, they have a $50, like they have their dues, and then they have a $50, we won't call you, we won't
Buyout.
contact you. We and that's good. That works in middle school and high school because you have to think by that time the kids have activities, sports, that's where they get their activities, that's where they get their friends. In
Right.
elementary school, their entire social life is on you.
That's right. Yeah,
And
I
so
agree.
honestly, I did we just did the signups last week, and I said, and somebody said, no, I'm not going to sign up because I don't have time. I just want your $12. If every kid gave us $12, we'd be able to do everything we need to do and more.
And
Right
more,
now,
right.
when I got to Glade, I think we had like 125 members. When you have
Yeah,
over 500 kids, that's pathetic. That's lame.
that
We need
is
to step it up. And so I doubled that number. And this year, I, we're behind again. And I'm like, oh no, I got to figure out some way to get everybody back in. But it's not like you're entered into this database and
yeah,
when
yeah.
we need
It's
a
not a
chair.
telemarketing scheme or a pyramid
No,
scheme of any kind,
no,
right?
not
Yeah,
at all.
so
No.
I think with PTAs, especially when you have someone like you who's very connected and knows how to do an event, knows what they do, you really just need the funding. You're happy. It's so much easier
Absolutely.
to put together when the funding is there and you just have to call the Moonbounds company or whoever it is, the entertainer, hey, you got to be here on this date, or the DJ for the dance, or whatever it is you're organizing.
And
So
and
part
I
of it
get
is
that.
just having the people do the funding so that you have it. But it is also nice, many hands make less work, right? And so it is nice. I think people are immediately attuned to, oh my gosh, I'm going to spend 40 hours a week at the elementary school or the middle school. And that's just not how it is. Like, when you have people who are driven like you and I, it is very quick. I used to keep my meetings to like 35 minutes
Oh,
because I appreciated
I
that
wish.
people have places to go and things to do. And I don't like the waffling. I get in, I get out. Thank you for your time. Let's move on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, I know it can be tough.
Well, I think that, it's more about the networking, right? So
True.
I would rather meet all the parents, get to know them, know who they know, and then I can just call on them for like a, hey, who's that guy that you know that can do that for us? And
Right.
then I'll leave you alone. Or like,
Yeah, I need that quick 15-minute interview with each one of you so I can download you in my brain.
exactly. And then like I have a
Yeah.
friend who she's very type A, very good with like graphic design. And so I said, you know how you told me that you would do something if I absolutely needed it? You're in charge of newsletters. And the only person that you have to talk to is me. You don't have to talk to anybody else. It's just like me and you, like on the weekends, but just
I
in a
love how you buffer her. You buffer
we
her
call
from
it
everything.
voluntold. I didn't
Voluntold,
volunteer.
yes.
I was voluntold.
Yes,
Exactly.
voluntold. I love it.
Another thing that I think that throws people off that I try to dispel is that like it's some kind of like social, that it's like a mean girls club and it's clicky and it's all
Oh,
those
yeah.
things.
Who's got time for that anymore, really? But yeah.
Right. So my
Yeah.
children have been to a couple different schools. They went to a school in Montgomery County that I will not name. Um, but that one was, I would say, probably more of a clicky thing. I told Danny before this interview when they said we need $60,000 for this awning for the playground, right? Kids need some
Yeah.
shade, and we never had we had a fundraiser, but the
It was
money was
just
already
asking 2
donated
or 3
because
families.
this was a very, very affluent elementary school. Like not one single school in Frederick County could compare to this
Yeah.
one. And we ended up just having the event for funsies because someone just dropped 60 grand into the account and was like, there you go. Stop bother.
Yeah.
So
That's lovely, but
but here, it really is about getting to know people,
yeah.
connecting, and coming up like brainstorming ideas on how to make things better for the kids, right?
Right.
Or I think that I offer like a unique perspective because although I was a teacher, I also run a business. And
Yeah.
so some of the things we do, I'm like, hey guys, like I know we're not a business, but if we just ran this one part a little bit more like a business, then
Right.
I think that we would have better results.
Yeah.
And we definitely have this past year was my first year as president. And I just tried to like up the marketing, kind of like I would
Yeah.
market a house. And our biggest fundraisers, we turned one fundraiser that I helped chair from $2,000 earner to $17,000 earner
Jeez
just by
Louise.
explaining what it was. Because you
Right.
have to think, like I came to Glade as a parent who my kids were in second and fourth grade, but I didn't know what anything was. And so they're like, donate to the this-a-thon, donate to the
Yeah.
that-a-thon. And I was like, what is that? And so just
Right.
explaining what it is and saying, hey, here's the expectation.
Yeah.
And then breaking it down. If every kid at this one fundraiser donated $50, we could blow way past our fundraising goal. So
Yeah.
if every kid now donates $25, then we're fine. So that helps
Right.
break things down for people. And then I say, hey, and it doesn't have to be $25 from one parent. It can be send $10 to grandma, send $10 to an aunt and
Yeah.
uncle, and then
Right.
you guys are only responsible for five. So
Right.
it feels like a constant money grab. And it kind of is, but like you also have to realize that the PTAs are often funding things that just aren't being funded by the schools. We
Oh,
had to buy cafeteria
100%.
tables.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
at Walkersville Middle School, we have a stage that is like when the kids sit on the stage, they come back with holes in their pants
Oh,
because
geez.
like
Yeah.
there are things that need to be done and there's just only so much money. So if you want other things,
Yeah.
if that's what you're then you need to help out. And $25 from one person or even $12 for dues can often get us there.
Yeah. I love it so much. Well, right now, how can Frederick help you?
um, well, we have lots of when it's time for us to go look for donations. I feel like we're often we have really great donators. Can I say who our wonderful donators are? Who are
Yeah.
always like tree trekkers. My
Oh,
goodness.
yeah.
I did tree trekkers and I almost had to get medevaced out of there. I was so scared, but
I love
tree
tree trekkers, but I couldn't walk for about a week after. So I
Food
love
Checkers is a
Ashley tree
big
trekkers.
donator. Wegmans is always a big giver. But like if you own a business and you just say, "Hey, I'll give you guys a gift card or something," any businesses that want to come to us and say, "Hey, we'll give you this," that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Um, our big thing this year at Glade Elementary. Last year we redid the readathon. This year, instead of doing a walkathon, which everybody knows is kind of
Yeah.
uh, a, a play on an old, I can't even say the
That's a
name.
back in the day thing. That was a my age thing where you got sponsors every mile. Yes.
Exactly. Well, I want to do a color run.
Oh,
And so we're gonna do a color run, and the color is expensive. So
yeah,
instead of, I'm asking for local businesses, my business is going to donate. Each station, like the blue is sponsored by this business, and then we throw it off, and that's
yeah,
that's a really great, of course, it
yeah,
always just deepens the relationships we have in our community.
of
So
course.
those are the things that we're looking for. And volunteering can be done on many, many levels.
Yeah,
And sometimes like, again, when we talk about it like a business, your time is money. And if you can't give your time, then give money. That's
yeah.
really,
I love it. I
it's
love it.
true. I mean, that's the way it's got to be.
Yeah. Well, I need you to keep us posted when you guys are doing events open to the public or you're looking for sponsors. Let me know, and we'll definitely put the word out there for you. We love that you're so involved in the community because really, when you have your finger on the pulse of things, you're able to see things from a different view and hopefully, course correct as you move along. And we love it. And we love having you on. You can come back anytime because
I'll be
more
back in the spring.
fun for me as much as it is informative. I love it so much.
Danny, if you remember, I came back because we were at the movies and my son saw you and
Yeah,
he said, that looks like that could be your bestie. And I was like, you know
I
what? I should sign up for
I
that.
100% when you texted me that, I felt honored that he would even say something, and I love it that we're both gracing the big screens at Warehouse Cinemas. I love it. I love it. All right, my friend, have an awesome afternoon and keep me posted. We'll let Frederick know how we can continue to support your efforts there.
Yes, thank you. See you soon.